All right, ladies and gentlemen, this would be the Fire Commission of the City of San Rafael, Wednesday, the 8th of May. And this meeting is now beginning and presumably in order. Do we have any participants from the outside world?
Yes, we're in the
Hi. Oh, yeah, okay, Angel.
No, he's gonna attend virtually and he'll jump on when the agenda.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yes,
Cool.
he'll just listen until he's ready.
Understood. All right, we will have a, keep this sequentially appropriate, I believe. Commissioner Waterbury, would you like to introduce our guest and hear what he has to say? And we have about 5 or so minutes to.
Sure.
Run with that.
And Michael, sorry. That's terrible names. Michael's here, he wants to, talk to us about, an association that he's.
Do you guys want to join our P. Van Pelt Fire
Yeah,
Department?
it's antique fire engines. He and I remember them when they were brand new, they weren't antique.
Right.
So go ahead.
All right, I'm here to promote my club, P. Van Pelt Fire Department Club. We've been together 3 years now. We're a subsidiary of SPAMPA, Society of Preservation and Appreciation of Antique Fire Apparatus. I've hit all the other communities up to the San Rafael Bridge. So I thought it would be nice to come over and promote my club to you folks.
Where are you located?
The base is out of Sacramento.
Okay,
And then any correspondence and my secretary, quote, secretary historian, he's very well versed, especially Van Pelt. He's got a big archivist in his house. If you give him a serial number of a Van Pelt, American LaFrance, all the rigs, he can look it up and give a good, nice, brochure.
Is there a physical display of some of the equipment in any one place, or are these?
Well, they're personally owned.
Okay.
I've got 5 guys, gentlemen, let's see, Mark Hathaway, he's a San Jose engineer. He's got 5 fire engines. Okay. He's not a member as yet, but Paul George, he's in the sprinkler business, and he has about another 5. And then we have, quite a few. Pass that newsletter around where you got a very thorough, you got a very thorough, newsletter.
Okay.
And then my historian secretary, he always picks out, a different subject. Like I remember back in the day, we had San Rafael, I think they had a couple of diamond tees, open cabs.
Yeah, we did.
Well, right, and that's quite a piece of apparatus. Now, I don't know why everybody's going towards Pierce High Tech. It's a better quality rig. They offer the same financing and everything.
where are they made?
High Tech's in Oakdale.
On the way to Yosemite.
Yeah.
In fact, on one of my newsletters, last year in April, I had the 100th anniversary of the Van Pelt Fire Truck Club. I had 47 fire engines show up. And then afterwards, we did a little parade through the city. That went over very well. Oh, can we do that every year? Everybody involved. Now I understand you guys are gonna have their 150th anniversary. Now, are you guys gonna approach the outlying fire districts and say, we have, I know, right on top of my head, I know of 4 or 5 departments in the area that have antique rigs. He's retired now. I happened, a couple of years ago, I happened to speak to the, apparatus foreman. And at the time, he didn't give me any firm answer that he would like to have all the departments get together, have a nice parade, and then I don't know where it start out, but where's the fairgrounds during the San Rafael?
Under construction at the moment, or reconstruction. as
Right.
it were.
But that'd be nice, have a static display.
Oh, got it.
Mhm.
And you are available for consultation where some of these units are hiding, I trust.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Before I leave, I'll give you the the secretary treasurer's name, Ed House.
All right.
And every year, we give out certificates of appreciation. Like we got a vote for, I don't know if you folks have any antique fire apparatus or not.
Couple.
Okay, but they're, in good shape or whatnot. Show them, in the brochure, there, right there, those are plaques we give out. That's showing appreciation, for them, show that to the boss, please.
I'll also, and it's
Hold
so.
up around.
Okay.
Yeah.
And every year we appoint, 3 different departments. Right now, we have San Ramon Fire, they had a nice auto car. And then, Richmond Fire, they also have a nice, rebuilt unit. It's 23 or France or something, I don't know if I recall. Winter.
So I think the important thing, it's not just Van Pelt apparatus.
It's any
apparatus. Any maker of old fire and.
Go ahead and hold on to it. There should be a membership application inside.
Yeah, they're right in here. Right.
We have hats, we have shirts.
I'll take one.
We are in the middle of developing plans for the 150th.
Okay.
And I suspect you will be hearing some questions from us in the not too distant future.
Now, when we had to see that plaque there. Okay, that's awards for good rigs. Back further, please. One more page. Right there.
Okay.
All the rigs showed up, participated. And the 100th anniversary got one of those plaques
Got it.
magnetized where you can put it on your dash.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Appreciate the information and we will look at it in greater detail and.
Okay, I'll give you
No
my
doubt.
card before you go.
All right. All right.
You're welcome
Any other questions from the table?
No, thank you for coming.
You're welcome to keep those.
All right.
Oop, wrong wallet.
Pardon me?
We need to take attendance.
Oh, yeah, no, I was doing the public expression
So-
part first.
So I was told by the chief for going back to red rigs instead of the yellow one.
Yeah, they're back to red.
Right back to red. Although we keep the yellow one now and again.
The yellow ones are relief pieces.
So what?
They're what?
There you go.
They're relief pieces. They're in case we, what, I don't know, that's what we call them in the city. What do you call them? The relief piece? Yeah, in case.
Back to the. agenda.
Backup.
Back to the
Back-
agenda.
Anybody else want a card?
Yes, please.
Thanks, the table. Thanks, Mr. Gillen, for coming by.
Oh, that's how we get our club known.
That's right.
Okay, I got it here. Hold on a minute.
All right, you take care of that and we'll march on. attendance, yes. David, are you here?
I am here.
Ken?
Yes.
Thomas is not. Donna?
Yes.
John?
Present.
Brian?
Aye.
We have a quorum. We will continue. The minutes of the last meeting were provided and no doubt reviewed by everyone. Are there any additions, corrections, or omissions? Yes, there is one. Thank you for saying that, Stan. Okay. We need to add to the list of present Commissioner Waterbury, who was here, but not listed. But his comments were contained.
Noted.
Noted. And that takes care of that.
Motion to
Do I
approve.
hear, thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved, second,
Second.
in favor,
Aye.
and it carries. Fire Foundation, Donna?
Chair Burford or Commissioner McCusker, may I suggest that we switch the order here and do
That'd be great.
the presentation, or at least the talk with the
Yes, so let's,
firefighter Linda Verde
Sure.
here when he's still here, and before he gets called on.
perfect, perfect.
Absolutely.
So, I went to the firehouse last week and met with the president of the California Firefighters Without Borders and two of the fire crew. We had dinner together at the firehouse. It was an amazing learning experience about the work that they're doing to help other firefighters in other countries who have nothing, to educate them and bring old used equipment to them. So I thought it would be really informative for all of the commissioners to be aware of what our San Rafael firefighters are doing on behalf of other parts of the world. We have 5 firefighters from the fire department here attending this year, one also police officer from San Rafael Police. So Angel, if you're with us, I'm going to turn the floor over to you.
Yes, good evening. It's a pleasure to join you guys. Thank you, Tom, for sending me the link and inviting me to participate in you guys' meeting. As Donna said, we started back in 2008. We did a regional training in El Salvador where we had various departments from throughout Central America. And that's when we decided that there was a lot of need from us to help not only to do the training, but also to support them with whatever equipment that is still in working conditions. And as of right now, what we do, we collect equipment throughout the county and even out of the county, out of state. We store it until we have enough equipment to put it on big boxes or pallets. We have an agreement with Travis Air Force. They have a program, it's called Dentum, it's a humanitarian aid. So therefore, they allow us to ship our donation to countries where the U.S. has as an ally. And before we had that agreement with them, we were all paying out of pocket, collecting money from the group or the guys and girls who had participated in our deployments. But now with that, we don't have to pay for shipping. As of right now, we have a schedule to departure on June 6th, and we are going to a small town about 2.5, 3 hours from Guatemala City in Guatemala, where we're going to be teaching between 35 and 45 local firefighters. I have, like Donna said, 5 local San Rafael and also San Rafael police officer joining us. I have 2 members who are from British Columbia, Canada, and another member from LA City Fire Department who are going to be traveling with us, and we are doing a week of training. Our main focus for this deployment is to do auto extrication, rope rescue, firefighting techniques, and also we are going to do RIG. And RIG, what it does is allow us to provide training in case that we need to rescue one of our own. And that is something that they never been taught. They don't have any knowledge because they don't have any regular schooling where they go and get, any training or any classes. The town that we're going, this is their first time ever receiving any professional or any training. Everything that they do is just how they learn, out on the street from the past members. So we are very excited to be able to help this community, and we're looking for the support from the foundation and from the commission, and see if we can, because everything that we do is pretty much on our own. In the past, we have been lucky to being able to gather some donation from some residents, some local businesses, but at the end of the day, if we don't get enough support financially, we still, find a way to do it. But it's great that if we can receive some support, because we take the time off from work, from our families, and also, we pay for flights, hotels, food, transportation, and if we bring any equipment, we also pay for the luggages that we bring for us to share.
Is it 5 just fine from Station 5 or? 550.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Is this something the foundation supports, Donna?
So I was gonna speak to that. The Firefighters Without Borders has approached the foundation in past years. The foundation has supported them very nominally, but I think a lot of the reason that it was nominal was because there was not the understanding or knowledge of what they're doing and the extent to which our department members are involved. 5 out of the 10 are coming from San Rafael, which is pretty awesome. The cost per firefighter to go for housing and plane fare alone is in excess of $2,000. I do know for a fact the foundation contributed a couple of years back $1,000. That was it. So I just wanted to bring it to the commission because we all know people in the community that might be interested in supporting this particular organization. Thomas put up their website on the screen. You can donate directly on the website, you or anyone that you know. I just wanted to raise our awareness because I felt like I didn't know much, and I certainly know a lot more now. So that was the reason to bring it forth.
Excellent. Thank you. Angel, thank you.
Thank you for allowing me the time and to express what we do, and I truly appreciate your support.
You'll be hearing more from us, I'm sure.
Thank you.
All right. For the 2 of us who have been at the table longest, that's you and me, you'll remember Larry Leckham.
You saw him in the photo.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, he went to Peru with them on a trip, and you will see him on occasion wearing the Peruvian firefighter's outfit that he got while he was there. It's hard to hide him in a room. when he's wearing that.
The bright red jumpsuit.
All right, thank you. Now, more from the foundation.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you a quick funny about the Firefighters Without Borders first, though. So all cities around our greater Marin area have contributed equipment because the equipment, even if it's not, even if it's still functioning, but it's out of date, it's possible to have it be a contribution. So the city of Tiburon contributed turnouts to be given, and the city that they took them to, one of the firefighters' names is actually Tiburon, which in English means shark, and he was just so excited to have turnouts with his name on it. It was pretty cute, and I got to see pictures of that. Anyways, okay, so other foundation news to share today. Thomas, I think I gave you, yes. So this is a certificate of the original incorporation, which, John, I believe you have a copy of it as well. I just wanted to share it with everyone that, again, this came from a gentleman on the foundation, Jeff Kramer, who purchased it back in the day, and then he donated it to the Civic Center archive. So that's where the original now sits. And if you ever wanted to see it, that's where it is. But I wanted to share that with all of you. I thought that was pretty cool that he rescued it and then saved it in perpetuity. Hopefully the Civic Center never burns, right?
What exactly is it?
It's our original, for the city of Santa Fe certificate of incorporation dated December 14th, 1874. It's the real McCoy. Yeah, Jeff saved it. Jeff's quite the historian.
It,
And the bolt,
John, have you
yeah,
met
really,
Jeff? You need to meet him. I
it's
can make
solved.
that happen.
in a way, it solved a question.
Yes,
What-
yes,
Okay,
yes.
Although others will argue that it was 4 days earlier when they sat down and talked about it.
Well, this is actually the original signed document.
No, I got
So,
I
yeah.
got it.
And then the foundation itself, as I've shared before, they're still looking for potential board members. And no one has reached out and volunteered to serve. So just a reminder to all of you that they're still looking to add 2 new board members. That's the essence of it.
Excellent.
If
Thank
you
you.
want to know how much they netted on the crowd feed this year,
How much?
I'm gonna round, but it was basically $17,000.
Netted,
Net?
Net.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
January is the time to go.
I'm also working on getting the list of who contributed to the crab feed as far as the silent auction. Only because I felt like that would be really good for all of us to know who supported the fire department in the past to hopefully do business with them and thank them. And
Yeah, could we send them any type of thank you on behalf of the fire commission?
I'm pretty sure the fire. we
Fire
could.
foundation?
Yeah, I would have to check with Lynn if that's already been done from the foundation. But I just felt like for the next crab feed, it would be extremely helpful to know what worked and where we got it from as far as donations and, the value that they were priced out at, sold at, purchased at.
Next item on the agenda, 150th anniversary subcommittee. John,
We have open houses tentatively scheduled for all the firehouses. Except for 56, they got the other one down for a date. If you're taking notes, May 18th is our first one, when we had 55.
John, I have a question about that. Where do we park when we go there?
So you can park on.
At my
San Pedro-
house.
Yeah, you can park on San Pedro Road, because that's where people vote, when they vote,
Okay,
they just park right on San Pedro.
okay.
On the west side, I don't think you can park on the east side of the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the firehouse side.
Okay.
That's been striped red.
Oh, it has.
So, okay.
So where's
You have
the
to
park?
And yeah,
park on Night Drive and Glenwood and walk half a block.
The residential
or
part?
Peacock.
Or Peacock
is-
Drive.
is Closer.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's plenty of residents. You might have to walk half a block.
Okay,
There's a lot of parking, so once you make that left on the Peacock, make the first right. And there's space where there are no homes.
okay,
I mean, there are homes on one side, but not on the other. So that's probably the best bet.
thank you.
And so what I'll do is I'll send out an email. So basically, once we get the stations, solidified, we're gonna send out a postcard. We're gonna print it on a postcard, not to be mailed, but just to hand it out as part of that.
Are you gonna send this to the foundation?
So Thomas was able to email that to all the commissioners, because that is an e-flyer.
So can I have the e-flyer to forward to the foundation, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can pass it on to
Yes,
anybody and
yes.
everybody. Then we'll do one of those for each open house. Note that 54 is on September 7th, 51 is September 9th, because they want to do something tied in with the 9/11. They have an actual building, they have a piece of steel from the World Trade.
Yeah. And which one, 54 or 56?
It's 54
54 is on 9/7.
on 9/7. Okay. So they want to do, that's when Captain Alvarez is working, so that would be realistic goal to have some type of dedication of that piece as part of 9/11 and as part of the 150th anniversary. As far as the parade is concerned, the wheels of City Hall move rather slow. So
You're surprised?
I left the message with Sergeant Ingles. crickets. Sent out he sent us, it should fill out, go to website, doesn't have to be him. Filled out the inquiry. Crickets, then I got an email from him the other day saying, can you meet Tuesday at 1 p.m.? Yes, but there was no where, or how, when, never heard back. Left him an email, no reply. Left him a voicemail today. He only works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so it's a bit of a moving target. We did have a meeting though with the chiefs, and we're gonna talk to you more about this. The parade ideally would be something that would, if it's possible, we'll talk about it, of the Fire Foundation being involved under the sponsorship to avoid just in terms of the structure of the organization. City for these, but we'll talk about it and see what's feasible, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where it's at.
A little more to where it's at is over here on the side. This television monitor, AKA television set that you are looking at, right now is running a video loop on a chip and on a thumb drive in the back. This device is available for each and every station, or for that matter, any public event that involves the fire department. As we get more and more photos available, either we can have separate programs, AKA separate presentations, or the loop just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's for us to decide, it's for the department to decide, and what has probably developed out of this without asking is a minor new job description for Thomas Wong. Because as a commission, we can't be everywhere all at once, and to centralize this thing and its use, it should be within the text of the department. Hence, I wrote the following. Property transfer statement. One LG 1080p 42-inch smart TV from the San Rafael Fire Commission. That's us. You all bought this. We'll talk about that later. To the San Rafael Fire Department. Initial use intended for public display of current historical pictures and videos relating to the history and growth of the San Rafael Fire Department, organized December 14th, 1874, 150 years ago, under my signature. That's for your file, sir. Thank you. And that unit now belongs to you.
Where's it gonna be placed?
Anywhere you want it.
It's portable, so we're gonna
Okay,
bring it to the open house.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Set it up in the bay someplace off the counter
I got it.
or rip.
Okay.
How many photos do we have in the carousel?
40 or 50.
Do you need any more from Larry, or are those
That's-
Larry's?
They're usually from Larry, so.
Yeah, some of the things that we think we can just go do are a little more complicated, as you've discovered. He made a inquiry to the IJ, because the IJ has fire photos for forever. The IJ was technically sold, AKA merged, into what is called Bay Area News Group. Bay Area News Group is the IJ, the Mercury, and Mercury News in San Jose, the Oakland, whatever, and 2 or 3 others. All of their historical material has been consolidated and is now controlled by not just the IJ. So it's not like, hi, we're from San Rafael, what do you got? It's a real deep mine shaft, and so we're not sure how we're gonna get into that. You came up with the information that there is a family connection.
Yes,
Has that developed into anything?
I don't know because I didn't chase it down. I'm not
Okay,
public relations.
David, did you?
Well, no, because, I mean, when we've got news, we can certainly go to her, but it's really difficult unless you've got a news story. We learned that with the grant feed and other things. We even pulled in Jeff, right? No, Jeff Kramer to help kind of push things there, right? Because from what I understand, I think his family
That's right.
owned the paper perhaps before it moved over. And that didn't get us anywhere. So, I don't have high hopes for a lot of editorial coverage based on this contact. However, she might be able to find photos.
She also might be able to grease the wheels with referring you to someone within the paper who would be more open to doing stories. for the
Yeah.
department.
The way that it worked well the last time was when one of the council members helped. So I think that's our best avenue for
Okay.
news media coverage.
Right.
But on this separate topic of the photos, I can reach out to her and ask her if we could have potentially access to the archive for purposes of the anniversary.
A two-part question, and I don't mean to give you my back all the time. As a former member of the department, do you have, personal photos that you had taken over the years that they're just hanging around in the garage?
Well,
So along those lines, do we have a list of retired department members who are still in the neighborhood that might have items they'd be willing to share? That I can-
We have a list of retired members.
So you and I donated a box of photos and memorabilia to a recent meeting that went into a room here in the building.
Right.
Those photos,
That's true.
there was
Yeah.
definitely photos in there.
Okay. I'll talk to the man who has a key to that office, yes,
Yeah.
and, see if I can set up a time to
Go through it.
photo the photos
Was it the mezzanine?
Yeah,
in the
and,
middle.
Mike McCarthy is the liaison, I think, between for retired firefighters through the association.
Okay.
So you can always reach out to him. He's the one that sends the emails to all, retirees.
But there are tons of pictures, and Chief Bernard knows a lot of where they are. And then we did have a photographer over the last year take a lot of recent pictures also, so we have a lot of those.
Okay. The loop that you're looking at was put together by Larry out of the stuff that he had available from his years of shooting photo 50 and just sort of collecting odds and ends over time. I could probably, yeah, I could probably pressure him to continue updating the thumb drive or create a new one or whatever. But it's a matter of electronically assembling the material and getting it to him. But anyway, point being, we have it. It has something to show. That's what you're looking at right now. So for the first open house, we can, through the senior management, we'll figure out how to get it out to them.
Well, and I'm thinking the next crowd feed, if we had a big screen to project onto, it would be really cool.
Oh,
Have
sure.
that roll through
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
dinner meeting.
Yeah, and getting a projector is not that hard these days. So, sure.
Maybe we can even put this on the foundation website, just as a
Yeah. That's a
slideshow.
great idea.
Yeah, so anyway, there you have it. Bottom line, I bought the set and gifted it out in the store.
Nice.
I got permission to ask them, the union guys, have them present that, like, hello to the union.
You'd have to ask the chair.
We can make the information you brought today available to them. Right. They probably have their own procedures on how to handle it internally. And I'm not in a position to speak to that. But, there's no reason to keep it a secret.
More members I get, the better.
Oh, no, understood completely. Moving on, anything else from the table regarding the 150th? No. Okay. Current media coverage, we had included, I think you all received a copy of, the comments, I think it was from farmers, if I'm not, Allstate, right? Relative to how they may be coming back a little bit into California. Ken, anything newer than that kind of stuff? And it changes every day now.
Changes every day. And I just came back, last night I got back from this thing, it's called RIMS, it's a Risk and Insurance Management Society. Every insurance company around the world, every broker, everybody that's associated with the insurance industry goes to RIMS. For 2 days, I had 3 clients with me, we met with biggest insurance companies in the world, Travelers was there, AIG, Zurich, AXA XL. And we talked about it, and ultimately it would come to something. The most informative was the Travelers guys. And we were talking about big communities in California and this topic. And basically what it's come down to now is because we were talking about travelers leaving the state and coming back in. Well, they want to come back in with changes. First of all, they want big rate increases to come back in. And politically, they're not willing to give them big rate increases, right? Because that gets you voted out of office. And it's also, they want to do things like add separate deductibles to wildfire. Right? You have a little small kitchen fire, your deductible is $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, right? Wildfire, it's $25,000, $50,000, $100,000. And they can't get them to come off of it. California ties very closely. A fire is a fire. You can't break from that because that's how we define fire going back 100 years, right? So you're gonna have to change that politically. So really, I mean, the travelers combined ratio now went from 101%. That's how you measure an insurance company's profitability. 2 years ago, for every buck they took in, they paid out $1, right? At the end of 2023, their ratio was 86%. So they're profitable, right? They can come back here if they wanted to. They're not going to. So that's the whole thing, right? It's not so much as it's political, right? Because they want rate. And they're not being given permission to change rate because we're regulated, they're a regulated industry. That's the deal.
Related to all of this, recently in Marin, there was an article and it got some traction briefly. Comparing workman's compensation insurance, which is owned and operated by the state of California. Basically. That the state could find themselves in a position of creating their own fire department, fire insurance commission, and issue fire insurance from the state.
Like the California State Fund,
This is not the current fallback must-have insurance.
the FAIR Plan.
Yeah, it's not the FAIR Plan. This is beyond FAIR Plan. Have you heard anything on the street about that?
No. I haven't heard one about that. And when you see those things, I mean, the State Compensation Insurance Fund, very well-run organization.
Yep.
Federal flood program, very poorly run organization. Right? It's a disaster, literally. And so, if it's run right, it could really work.
Yeah.
But again, it's gonna be rate, man. It's gonna be expensive. If you go to a place in a big wildfire zone, they want to charge.
Sure. Any questions?
There was one thing at that event, maybe this would be my contribution, how we go around, sir. There was one thing that was the coolest stuff, right? The coolest tool that everybody had. Munich Re had it. Berkshire Hathaway had it, right? And they tie their data to the Paris Global Warming Accord, right? That's their foundation. And if you have, let's say you're a big company and you've got operations all around the world, you put your schedule in around the globe and it will show you based upon how well your country ties to what they're trying to do, what happens what is the impact on your location by from global warming, right? And so we put, I was with one client and they go, in 15 years, your location on Palm Beach Garden is gonna be underwater if we continue on as we are now, right? And so I so wanted to put this location to see what the global warming impacts would be on San Rafael. And so I have the guy's card from Berkshire Hathaway. He happens to live in Orinda. And so I'm gonna try to get us something. Because I've seen the other stuff that I've mentioned to you before, the impact of what San Rafael's done. But this is way better data. So I'll try to get it.
All right, that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Not bad on sound. They have waterfront property.
Larry's gonna be underwater. He needs to move.
How far into the future can that examine things?
We were going out 5, 10, 15 years.
Yeah. Wow.
And, it was interesting. It was cool to see.
Now, you're on the side of the hill like I am. We could
Yeah.
have a marina right there.
Right. Just have to have a boat and
Just
share a
saying.
car.
Okay. Anything else in the current media world that we should throw on the table or try to discuss? As I was mentioning, every time I open up, well, I've stopped taking the real paper and I'm now watching it on a screen, but every time you turn around, some insurance company is saying something about
Oh, yeah.
how to get in or out of the business.
And I forgot, you guys are all seeing it. What you're talking about is that's what they're all hanging their hat on. Last year, we had a great year. They had a great year on wind, hurricanes and wildfires, right? But look at the television set. It's the secondary peril now is what they refer to it, convective storms in the middle part of the United States.
Oh, yeah.
They're not named, so they don't get the big publicity, but they're just causing massive amounts of losses.
Got it. Thank you, sir. On to our member reports, David.
So a couple of ideas around the foundation for things that we can potentially promote through social channels. So getting more board members and then also about the firefighters without borders and raising some money for them. So I think we could all reach out to Thomas. I'll reach out to probably Phil. I think her name is
She's
Phil.
no longer working here.
Oh, okay. I was curious why I hadn't heard from her in a while. Is there a replacement?
You can send it to me and then I'll get it to
Okay.
you.
Or should I reach out to Quinn and maybe
Yeah,
work with
you can
her?
send it to Quinn and I and we'll work together with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And then also on the foundation website, potentially, having some of those images and potentially maybe we could put a banner on the foundation website too about needing to recruit more board members. That's it. That's all I
Or
got.
board members and volunteers.
And volunteers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ken, we have heard from you, unless you have more to add.
No.
No, sorry. Fine. Thomas is out today. Donna, do you have anything yet?
I do, when I walk in Terra Linda, anywhere I go, there's huge growth, especially in the alleyways that go between the streets. Huge fire risk, because the alleyways, it's so overgrown. You have about 18 inches to walk and hope you don't get covered with ticks. But more importantly, the alleyways have grass seriously at least 4 feet high. Every alleyway, and it backs up to fences, and the fences back up to iglers, which are all wood. So I don't know who to shout out.
Got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
because, and it's all throughout Terra Linda, that all the, like, coming down Freitas Parkway. I'm driving over here today and I'm looking at all the huge tall weeds backing up to the homes. They're wooden fences. And I was told by a homeowner who backs up to one of the alleys that it's the city's responsibility to knock that down. He was actually out there with his weed eater, getting it down on his particular alley. But I just thought, the city fire department, everybody wants to be more fire safe. And we're talking about all the, eucalyptus and juniper, but nobody's addressing the weeds that are yay high and really thick. So thank you.
Sure.
Okay.
John, Brian?
Now, speaking of going through,
All right.
and I think at the last meeting, the chief was saying he's having pictures of, well, no, prior chief, but we took this is the whole fire department in, year 2000. If you can use, I mean, those are, I'd like to have those back.
Yeah.
If you want to take pictures.
Take pictures, yeah.
Or somehow. This one, I was a fire captain, out of Station 3. I had a truck company. And Pelham. Thank you. We were first in on call and, unfortunately, they, flashed over the top of the three of us that were inside, advancing the house lines. And, my breathing apparatus got stuck in air conditioning wires. They wrapped the air conditioning tubes, with wires that pulled us. Anyway, there's a picture of Captain Doug Jones, who's our training officer at the time, helping me out the window. I mean, I've just gotten out. That was over off professional second parkway.
Wow.
Probably was what, I think it was in the IJ like that.
Fiberglass wrapped around with the tubing.
Yeah, fiberglass, yeah.
So
And so as you crawl in, it's smoky, you can't see. And then all of a sudden, the fire flashed over the top of us. And I said, let's get the hell out of here, and turned around to get out, and now, and my breathing apparatus was stuck.
Right.
So I finally made it to the window, pounded on the window. And, I don't, how when it gets hot, your muscles kind of get. And that's what was happening, and it busted out the one hole down. And, of course, it made it to the IJ, which was very embarrassing. But that also, is a picture.
Nice you're here to tell the story.
Several times when I thought I pushed my luck a little too far.
Yes. A moment frozen in time.
The person that took that is another picture of me sprawled out. It's just like heat exhaustion. That they're trying to take the jacket.
That's the problem, that's the problem is the Kennesaw Auditorium.
Where? Yes, it is.
It is.
That's where we took the.
Yeah, all right. Okay, very good. I see, hats on, hats off.
And I also got all the other cool ones. Yes. Do you guys want to, can I leave this with the consent? No, I won't get them back. I'll leave it.
That's for you, on a subject that came up at a previous meeting. You may have some ideas,
Yeah.
don't read it now. Okay. You may have ideas
What
for
is this doing?
2000. Oh. And we have lastly, but not leastly, the chief's report.
Who was this?
So pass it
Oh,
over.
hello.
To give it
Ryan.
for.
We the chief was just talking about this from. Huh?
We're
just talking about this today. Oh, okay. Well, there's stuff in
Got
there.
a copy of this. This is a great picture. There it is.
So hopefully everybody's had an opportunity to review the chief's report that was sent out, I think to you last Friday. I don't want to read the whole thing, in the interest of time. The first section, general updates, are responses to inquiries that were made at the last meeting. So hopefully those answer your questions. If there's any thing else you want me to follow up on, please let me know. And then you have updates from the various divisions, some fire activity, some response data. The response data was reformatted based on the request at the last meeting. So hopefully that's a bit more informative for you. Thanks to Thomas for doing that for us. We have a few staffing updates, a retirement. Manny Albano, our community preparedness coordinator, has moved on to a new position up in Sonoma County, so we wished him well. Sorry to see him leave, but I'm excited for his new position and new opportunity. And then as the grass starts turning brown, Donna and brought on 8 new seasonal inspectors, so we're gonna jump on those alleyways up in Terra Linda.
Beautiful.
All right. So, yeah, I was noticing that too. It's tall and starting to turn brown.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And Terra Linda, it always goes first, but it's just a little warmer and drier up there. So, yeah. Some training division updates on the top of page 3. Some prevention updates go from the lower section of page 3 onto page 4. Just an interesting note about the Taqueria San Jose at 615 Fourth, which remains closed since the fire back on March 18th, and just talking about, and Ken, I'm sure you can talk a lot on this, how businesses like this that have fires, even a minor fire, it was not a total burn down, when you start to imagine the building's still structurally intact. But it can take months. It can take months for them to reopen, and oftentimes they don't. There's staggering percentages of businesses that suffer fires, especially restaurants, that just never make it back into business. But we're hoping that they do, because it's a well-loved restaurant. And we hope that they'll be back in business soon, but the place is still, it's cold and dark in there, so I don't see much activity. Some new developments on the horizon. The first one there at the bottom of page 3 is in Marinewood, near the Marinewood Market, which personally I think is a really good idea for that site. It's underutilized, it's unsightly. It's not going to be in a spot that's going to really negatively impact many people. It's right along the freeway on a street that dead ends. So it's a 125 unit affordable development. Possibly we'll go through, we'll see.
Is it just residential or is there even?
There is some commercial space in there too. But it'd also be great for the market. Because I don't know if you've all been in that market. It's a really nice market. And I know that the residents of Marinewood really like it. They patronize it, but I'm sure they could stand to have some more business. So this would really help them out.
Is it gonna be low income housing?
Yes, it's affordable. Yeah. The entire development is. And then at the top of page 4, there's some information on a new biomarine lab that's coming to town. That's going to take up most of the remaining portion of that blacktop strip where Vivalon is at one end, and then it's just kind of vacant to the east.
PG&E one.
Yeah, it was the old PG&E.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that when they had the tent over for
Yeah,
a couple of years ago?
a huge remediation project, and then they had to come blacktop the whole thing and just let it sit in place for a few years, let it cook. So the Vivalon project is at the west end of it, and this will be at the east end. So seems to be rolling forward. Some wildfire mitigation updates. They're very busy right now because they just took on their seasonal, so they're in the training mode right now. So they didn't have much to share with me other than the photo and just the quick item there. A few points from Manny before he left in the disaster preparedness division category. At the bottom of page 4, we're rolling forward with that deployment analysis standards of coverage study. The consultant, Thomas and I are engaging with the consultant multiple times a week, getting them the information they need. Probably about a 3-month turnaround on that before we have anything to report on. But it's going very well. Facility updates. Excited to report that it looks like in front of Station 55 in the undeveloped landscape area, thanks to the chief working with Quinn, we're gonna be able to install a, fire resistant, planting display garden there that, will not only landscape the area, but will serve as a educational tool for residents so that they can stop by and look and enjoy, a Firewise display garden. So we hope to have that going, and Calvin is leading the charge on that, if I'm not mistaken. So and he's off and running. I think he's already ordered the planting materials. And just for those who live out in that area, the hillside behind Station 55 is due to be cleared, I think, starting this Friday. So we'll get that cleared up and looking much better than it does now because the vegetation on that hill grows voraciously every year after the rains. And
Is it bringing in the goats?
no, I don't think it's big enough to warrant goats, just a crew that will get in there and clear it. And then there's a plan to remediate it so that it retards future growth, if I'm not mistaken.
And putting some more of the actual plants that probably belong in there.
Yeah.
Something that's fire not resistant, but it offers a little more fire resistance than what we have. Instead of the Scotch broom or the stuff. So my overall goal with it and what I gave the staff was my goal is that they make that full proper the ideal place or we can send any community member to go, that's what it needs to look like right there. So, and it'll be very visible for them to say, yeah, okay, we get it now.
Yeah.
I'll get it. The other plan would be in the future, I'd like to revisit or visit us, actually creating a memorial grounds on that little park area. So just to the west of there, there's a little forestry area. It's really small. It's not. And where there, we had that affordable.
It's in there, yeah.
Well, that area.
Americares,
I'm sorry?
were the Americares, the volunteers, is that where they were? And wasn't there like a bungalow for,
Well, there was the temporary 55
yeah,
double wide trailer there.
okay.
And yeah, maybe the AmeriCorps crew did occupy it for a short period of time as well, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's where I'd like us to visit in the future to try to actually create a memorial garden or rest area there where we acknowledge previous line of duty deaths in the fire department. Perhaps create a wall on the bench area where we celebrate it every year. So I'd like to head towards that direction. We're still a ways off from there, but I do have that vision in my head to be able to create that in the future. We currently don't have any special place like that. So it would be nice to just have it in that one little corner. I envision some kind of like memorial wall, to put some plaques on there, and then just once a year or something like that, just to acknowledge our just memorialize our firefighters that died in line of duty in the past.
And then, yeah.
That's all I had, unless the chief has more to report on.
Yeah, so one thing I was interested in and seeing how everybody felt about is perhaps taking a recess either in the month of July or August on there. We have been directed by city manager to see if there is appetite to want to have some kind of recess. Over the theory behind this is that every department in the city of San Rafael right now is just overloaded with a bunch of stuff. So we're all hoping to be able to take some kind of recess somewhere. The month of July and August, we're taking a recess with council with one meeting there. And then just following with all the commissions and committees in the city. So just was wondering if there's any kind of appetite to be able to want to do that. Just for one recess for one month that alleviates some of that pressure that we have going on. But just seeing if that's a possibility. If anybody wants to entertain that conversation.
The first question would be, when is the most convenient and useful for you?
Well, so we looked at it. It looks like July is the one that is the month that council takes off. So that would be my recommendation. So just to be able to fall in line with that. I mean, we can certainly reconvene. Obviously, we have the 150th stuff going on, but that's just a lot of work that can just happen no matter
We
what.
could do that behind the scenes.
Yeah.
July would be good to take off because I can update people in August, but we have something in September, so I think July would probably be the best. Any
And-
problems with July? Like a week's road, then you have another month to jump.
So what's the Brown Act says, because I'm gonna have to miss our August meeting, and that's gonna be second one, because.
Oh, well, because this is,
No.
this is a skip.
No, but I had to miss one for travel, and now I'm gonna miss August, right? So if you miss two,
Consecutives.
Is it consecutive?
For sure.
I
But
just thought
it's
it
been
was two
online. I was like,
It was originally,
Two unexcused absences. It didn't say consecutive.
okay, it
I
was,
would have caught that. We're just
so
not gonna,
two, and then you have to reapply or something,
we're
right?
not just not gonna tell anyone.
so far you haven't done anything that wasn't excused.
I'm not, I'm gonna stop talking.
Okay. Did I handle that all right? Thank you. Great. Okay, any, so no problems with July? July, we won't be here.
Okay, great.
Make a note, Stan.
And secondary to that, does anybody have any questions for me? We're moving ahead with the standards of coverage. I understand and that the firefighters signed a tentative agreement. Yes, they did. They did presentation last night on the A shift. They have B and C shift to go still. And then hopefully we'll get their contract right. It's moving at light speed, but I hear that it's the fastest that they know that has ever happened.
What's the duration of the contract?
You know what? That's a good question. I did not know if it's 2 or 3 years. Yeah, somebody asked me this morning. I have no idea, to be honest with you.
I mean, I've got the old one. How the old one was. Oh, right.
Secondary to that, I am planning on moving one of my battalion chiefs to an EMS battalion chief position, which will create a vacancy for one of my battalion chiefs. So I plan on doing that in July. We are holding an exam, a promotional exam in the month of June. I am holding on a deputy chief position, and this is if I get the position, we will hold on the deputy chief position until next year. My thought is to get some general funding that I have for deputy chief position to be the EMS position, come back next year, and I should see both a cost revenue increase and a cost reduction in expenditures for EMS by having that position in place. We've done some preliminary checking on the paramedic tax, and it sounds like there's stuff that we could save some money on. And looks like there's some revenue that we are not receiving at this point also. But I haven't had a position, somebody in that sole position of just focusing on the EMS issues. So once I'm hoping that'll actually produce some kind of either revenue generation or at the very least some kind of revenue, not revenue, but reduction in cost by having somebody informed. But we already saw in our original cost that was projected about with just ambulance billing was at 3.1 million. We looked at we did some modifications that were up to about 3.5. So $400,000 is a big deal for us. So we oversaw some cost savings by just setting some additional policies and some checks and balances around a lot of stuff that dramatically help for sure.
Gotcha.
Chief, do you get to handpick who becomes the new battalion EMS?
No, well, now what I do, so what I did is since now I'm not creating a promotional position for that, I've asked all my 3 VCs who's interested, and only one of them has been interested. So I'm gonna move that person in there. That person also happens to be a paramedic. So he's an active paramedic, I'm moving in there, and that'll open up my position for that.
And where will that new position be domiciled? Here?
It'll be here more likely in my office.
Okay.
If I do get the chief's position, I'm gonna move over to the chief's position for now, in that office there. If I do get it, then that's where I'll stay. And then next year, when I come back around, if I'm asking for additional position or that position, the deputy chief position to be refilled again, then I will figure out where I'm gonna put something. I'm already starting to look at Station 52. I think I can build out Station 52. It's got the lower office area to build it out to kind of be the EMS division out there also. So we'd have the training division, the EMS division up there, and administration up here. At the end, we're all gonna get together when we have meetings, but it would be a little bit spread out, and it just becomes something practical spot, especially right now. So already thinking that through on a happening, obviously, I don't have a whole lot of money for infrastructure at this point, but I'm more concerned about getting folks in there and doing some work that needs to be that's really kind of.
So this is creating a net new position, one additional battalion chief, so a total 4?
Correct.
Okay.
So what I want to wind up with right, in the next 24 months will be 4 battalions, a deputy chief and a chief. Is what I'm shooting for next 24 months. And then I have further plans after that, which would include probably a training, battalion chief also, and potentially also training captain. That we have training captain. We're doing a lot of good work. One of the things that I look at is the risk analysis that we're starting to do. And Lawrence, one of the risks that we had out there. We really didn't have anybody doing those analysis or anything like that. Now the training division constantly looks at that. They look at the recruit development, firefighter development. If we have issues, we quickly address those issues. Before it was old paper stuff that we're sending desk to desk. And really, by the time we actually caught something, we're a month into it. So now it's all electronic like that. And I have to thank Captain Goodwin and Neil for just really automating a lot of those things and, having those further conversations. A lot of things out there. And, and then Kyle just we put our policies together. We approved 182 policies this year within the first 2 months. So that was lightning speed that we had not updated in how many years, Chief?
100?
150.
No, it'd been a while since we'd updated those policies. So now they're all electronic, which now that we put them in electronic format, they're really easy to update. So we go there, update it. It automatically sends an email to the association, to us and those members. Everybody says yes or no. We have a discussion and then it's approved. Where before it was like a paper and we're running around and all that stuff. So really some amazing stuff that our staff's starting to do and really fine tune what efficiencies we could engage with. And that's a lot of that part is we were just talking right now on the evaluations on our folks. Also, how do we automate that process? And then if they need help, then we quickly give them that help. So work down that process.
And have there historically been 2 deputy chiefs?
Historically, there have been no deputy chiefs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back when Chief Waterbury was here, there were division chiefs.
Yeah, but no. It's actually the municipal code calls for a deputy chief, but in my 32 years here, I never saw it. And a lot of the administrative work went from fire chief to the battalion chiefs. And then because we're doing so much administrative work, we got upgraded with no pay.
Congratulations.
Division chiefs.
Well, explain to the group your schedule. You had a very unique
Yeah.
schedule as battalion and division chiefs that they might be interested in.
Yeah. Now,
Well, I mean, it should only take a minute.
well, we did, a good example, we worked a 24-hour shift, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 8 hours on Tuesday, Thursday. So we were.
So you were a shift battalion during your shift work, and then you would come in for an administrative 8-hour day.
So
in
you'd have
between.
2 battalion chiefs on duty, one that had the duty, and one that was on, we call it administrative. Yeah, and it actually was kind of nice. It was a lot of work, but having that extra chief officer there, so when you have a call, fires, we used to have a lot of fires. It was nice to have a second chief officer on the scene. We all, my boss, not here. My old boss would show up, we'd always put him off to the side and have him speak to the media. Because he's a hands-on, he's a hands-on kind of guy, and
It's funny, I showed up to structure fire the other day and I took this command on it. And sure enough, I thought for sure they're gonna tell me go do something else and they left me alone. I'm all like, oh, man, he didn't even notice I was here.
it runs in our blood.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Well, it's very hard to kick the habit of not responding to a fire or not wanting to go outside and put it out.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was the work we did. It was like, it was a lot of hours. It was like,
What do the
So-
battalion chiefs do now? What's their shift? Is it,
4896.
yeah, that's what I thought, okay.
But it's really hard to manage projects. So at any given day, 2/3 of my shift is off. 2/3 of my people are off. So if I'm managing programs, they're not really, I mean, I love my people, but when they're on those rotating shifts like that, it's really hard to get a lot of these programs and get work done with them. Just, it's not because they don't want to do it. They just pick their on their days off. And, I probably, since I've been here, it's probably, the BCs here are the busiest BCs I've ever seen running projects. Where I came from, they weren't running big projects. They run little projects, but full-on programs that they're running here on a 56-hour work week. And I say it's great.
Train.
Yeah, it's great when they're here, but once they go on their days off,
So say it again, they're here 24 hours,
they're here 48 hours straight and they're off for 96.
96 off.
Yes.
4 days.
Mhm. So.
Wow, yeah.
So, and the job of the BC has changed over the years. We don't run as many fires as one did, but they're busy all the time. They're running the vehicle accidents and any kind of numbers just to pop up throughout the day. They're out there engaged in something. And really, I want to take some of those projects off from them. So more on administrative, us BCs, I have a battalion, EMS battalion chief, deputy chief, and myself, we start taking on administrative stuff. They were doing stuff like hiring. I mean, like hiring recruit firefighters, scheduling of the interviews and all that stuff. I don't want you guys to do that anymore. You guys need to focus. And really, we're kind of a cultural change where they need to focus on their shift with their folks. They need to be out there with their captains. They need to be running drills with them, doing all that kind of stuff. And we had seen the fundamental shift away from that just because they were so busy with the administrative type of work that they were just bombarded by that. So now we're slowly molding them back into them being out there with their shift, engage with them, running calls certainly, and then but some training and identifying where the deficiencies are in our organization with their shift people and that kind of stuff.
So who picked up the interviewing?
The interview, I did. Well, me and Danielle, so now I have, what I would do now is we have a really good relationship with Human Resource. So I meet with them once a week just to get everything going. Like even right now, we're planning on having an academy in late August. We already have it all scheduled out. And this is, I'm trying to pick off people. Right now, it's still in competition with everybody else in the world. We pre-schedule the physicals, we pre-schedule background checks, all that kind of stuff. So I literally will hire somebody right there and say, I'm gonna offer you a job right now. I need you to answer me. If you want it, if not, or give me 24 hours, but most of them say, yes, I'll take the job. I literally will call, get the letter. So by the time they get home, they already received the email with the conditional offer.
Close the deal.
Yeah, I gotta close the deal fast before, or somebody else will close it before I do.
Yes.
So, and so far, I think, I mean, the way everything I have it, that by the end of the year, we'll be fully staffed.
Yay.
For once, I don't know how long it's been, chief, since we've been fully staffed.
A long time, chief.
How many vacancies right now?
I have 3.
Whoa.
It just seems like ever since
It's
I've been
been
here. we've
forever.
never fully staffed.
Forever.
You're always trying to chase that
Yes.
customer.
We're gonna run 4-man engine companies.
I wish, we're still running 3, maybe one of these days,
How about the truck?
3 also. One of these days, we're working on that. That's one of the future goals, so. Right now, just if I get you some staffing, I'll be happy. And like, I am really happy. We've done some good things with creating a lateral position and those things to be able to attract folks there. So I'm feeling pretty confident that by the end of the year, I'll be able to say we are fully staffed.
So I'm gonna say something that kind of dovetails in your thinking. In order to get more people hired, we have to have more money in the budget. In order to have more money in the budget, we have to have city council in our back pocket. Do I need to spell it out? You people need to network with your city council person, period. You need to do that. You really need to do that. We have to work it.
Yeah.
He said it in a very professional way. I'm calling it out straight out. You need to take that person to lunch. I go hiking with my city council lady, but you've got to work it because it's just like the Firefighters Without Borders. They don't know really until you expose them. I mean, they'll ride along a little bit, but that's just the frosting on the cake. That's not really digging in and eating the cake. But if you sit down and talk with them and share with them, they're going to be more inclined to be more generous with the budget, which is what we want.
For sure. And then just listening to us and being able to articulate certain ideas where we're not specifically calling out, but building your relationships, especially if it's an organic relationship that we've already built with somebody, there's more possibility of them supporting us for sure. So I really do encourage that. And we're sharing you the same thing. You'll see us participate in any kind of public event.
Yeah.
We're out there, because we want to shake hands. We want to see people be exposed to us. So hopefully that's a big thing for us for next year that we're participating in public event again. So you should see us out there more often now.
John, are we inviting them to the open houses?
We haven't got there yet, we should. I'll
Yeah.
talk to you about that.
And I'll take care of those invitations to city manager's office and then I'll send them I'll do a courtesy call, courtesy send them to the council members. But if you guys have relationships with them,
Send it as
I'll
well.
help out any way I can. Make it successful.
yeah, thank you.
that's
Thank
all,
you.
that's all I have. That's just some
And
questions.
that's all? What the hell have you been doing?
Just sitting around.
Give me one of your carbs, so.
Any questions from the table to anybody in the room? None?
Anybody would like to buy a calendar? Our calendar is for sale, please.
Hang on for a second, hold that thought.
Oh, okay.
No, in that case, this meeting is officially adjourned at 5:18.
And just
I'd
for,
like to take a picture of your pictures.
for Commissioners John McCusker and Waterbury, there are jackets here, and Thomas asked me to have you try them on. This one is a
Let me grab a card for you.
Okay,
large
I got more calendars.
Another large.
I'm John. Thank you.
and a double
I'm
XL.
gonna miss this.
Here's more.
Yeah, I know, but this is ours. This is our thing. So, no, I'm just in from.
I won't be there. I'm helping my daughter move out of college now.
Oh.
No, really.
Yeah.
Sure.
Where is she?
Chat.